So I've had a few people email me, hey, this is kind of like the John Teeter stuff. Did you hear this thing about Baron Trump from the 1800s, the story? Truth be told, yes, I have. But I don't think I've done a video yet about it. And that's about to change right now. The Economic Collapse blog, authored by Michael Snyder, is covering a few of the excerpts that I think I'll just discuss because it could be kind of a lengthy video otherwise. And he covers the most important things anyways. Did a novelist from the 1800s warn us in advance that Donald Trump would be the last president? And again, I hear that stuff and I think about the John Teeter stuff about the last president, I am about to share with you one of the strangest things that I have come across in a very long time. In the late 1800s, author Ingersoll Lockwood wrote a series of novels which appear to have striking parallels to events happening today. In his first two novels, The Travels and Adventures of Little Baron Trump and His Wonderful Dog Bulger, and Baron Trump's Marvelous Underground Journey, an extremely wealthy little boy with a very active brain named Baron Trump is guided on a series of extraordinary adventures by a man known as Don. Donald Trump? No, just Don. And if you can believe it, little Baron Trump's adventures actually begin in Russia. I must break you. For starters, the main character's name is the same as President Donald Trump's son, albeit spelt differently. Trump's adventures begin in Russia and are guided thanks to directions provided by the master of all masters, a man named Don. Before leaving for his voyage through the unknown, Trump is told of his family's motto: the pathway to glory is strewn with pitfalls and dangers. Illustrations from the novels depict Trump dressed in lavish, old-fashioned clothing and jewelry as he departs from Castle Trump and begins his voyage, heading to Russia to locate an entrance into alternate dimensions. That is strange, right? Subsequently, Lockwood wrote another novel entitled The Last President, in which the election of a very unpopular outsider candidate sparks huge mob riots by anarchists and socialists in New York City. Concrete jungle where dreams are made of. There's nothing you can't do. The following comes from the Daily Mail. The story opens in a New York City in turmoil. It's early November, right after the election of an enormously opposed candidate. The east side of the city, which is where the Women's March began the day after Donald Trump's inauguration, is in a state of uproar. The 19th century book says police officers shouted through the streets as mobs of vast size are organizing under the lead of anarchists and socialists and threaten to plunder and despoil the houses of the rich who have wronged and oppressed them for so many years. The Fifth Avenue Hotel will be the first to feel the fury of the mob. The novel continues. Would the troops be in time to save it? Of course, anarchists and socialists would not be rioting if a Democrat was elected, so obviously the president in this particular story would be a Republican. And today, Trump Tower actually stands on Fifth Avenue. I don't know if there's any special significance to any of this. I just found these parallels to be absolutely fascinating, and I thought that I would share them with all of you. Some people out there believe that Ingersoll Lockwood was trying to warn us about the future, about our future, but others are downplaying the parallels that these stories have with modern day events. For example, this is how Snopes, the guy that had prostitutes, drug parties, his wife's divorcing him, that guy. Snopes concluded their article on this matter, so I'm sure their opinion will be something we all need to follow. That guy's a world-class, model citizen. Although these books contain some seemingly bizarre coincidences, they are not evidence that Donald Trump has access to a time machine. Time travel conspiracy theories, such as this one, pick and choose material that supports their conclusions while ignoring everything else. For instance, these books also contain giant turtles, alternate dimensions, a battle with the big white crane, a dog named Bulger, and a little smiling man frozen in time. Why are you smiling? I just like smiling. Smiling's my favorite. Make working your favorite. Okay. Since these aspects have no clear connection to the Trumps, they are omitted from the conspiracy theory. Snopes, step in my office again. You are triple fired. Okay? Piss off. Like you're some kind of authority source. Get the F out of here, Snopes. Go with your prostitute and hookers. Before I end this article, let me share with you another amazing coincidence that I just came across. By now, all of you have probably heard about the remarkable solar eclipse that is going to take place on August 21st. Well, it also turns out that the path of this solar eclipse will almost entirely cross areas of the country that voted for President Trump. A Boston Globe article attempting to make a connection between the solar eclipse and President Trump supporters is being widely mocked on social media. Article by Globe reporter Matt Rocheleau, titled "The Solar Eclipse Path Will Overwhelmingly Pass Over Trump Country," starts off by asking the question, is the eclipse throwing shade at Clinton supporters? If not, it maybe you should throw dog crap at them. You know, that old chestnut. In fact, of the approximately 240 counties that this eclipse will cross, a whopping 92% of them did in fact vote for Trump last November. He said the path is roughly 70 miles wide and spans about 240 counties, 92% of which swung in Mr. Trump's favor, while fewer than 24 counties voted for his opponent, Hillary Clinton. And I would argue, you sure those other counties didn't have any little vote fraud going on? Because maybe, the article points out that Mr. Trump himself was born on June 14th, 1946, the same day there was a total lunar eclipse. Though it wasn't visible from the United States, NASA records show. To me, that is rather remarkable, but once again, many are pointing out that this could potentially be just a coincidence. When it comes to Trump, there seems to be so many of these coincidences. For instance, on his first full day in office, and I remember this one, this was pretty interesting. On his first full day in office, what are the chances of this? Donald Trump was 70 years old, 7 months, and 7 days. Or maybe I should say he was 70 years, 7 months, and 7 days old. 777, baby, lucky sevens. And that just happened to take place this year, which is 5777 on the Hebrew calendar. Triple sevens again. And here are some more extremely strange numbers that I discussed in a previous article. Israel was 77 days old, exactly 777 days after Donald Trump was born. Israel's 70th birthday will come exactly 700 days after Trump's 70th birthday. Donald Trump won the election on Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's 7th year, 7th month, and 7th day in office. I don't know what special significance all of these facts may have, but I do know that we are living in highly unusual times, and I will strongly agree with that. All of human history has been leading up to the times that we are moving into, and I believe that we are going to see great chaos and upheaval. But there is no other time in human history when I would rather have lived, and I can't wait to see what is going to happen next. I strongly agree with that, and I want to say something too, if I can find this. Christine Lagarde, 7 speech. Can I find this? Occult message of 7 minutes, 3 minutes. Number 7. No. Business Insider. How one speech ignited a ridiculous conspiracy theory. Let's see what we have here. How one speech ignited a ridiculous conspiracy theory about the occult allegiances of IMF chief Christine Lagarde. Remember when she came out on the stage? Someone said something to her. She's like, yeah, I know, yeah. I just do what I'm told. Yeah, okay. And then goes up on stage to give her crazy, weird 7 speech about sevens and 7 this and cycles of 7. Speaking of Donald Trump and the sevens, this was in 2014. She held several ministerial portfolios in France, including finance, agriculture, commerce, and industry. She was international law firm with Baker and McKinsey's first female chair. At one time, a member of the French national synchronized swimming team. But we don't care about that. You can read full transcript of what she said here, but it was the introductory remarks which contained most of what got the tinfoil hat brigade excited. Now, I'm going to test your numerology skills by asking you to think about the magic 7, okay? Most of you will know that 7 is quite a number in all sorts of themes, religions, and I'm sure that you can compress numbers as well. So if we think about 2014, all right, I'm just giving you 2014. If you drop the 0, 14 times 2, 7. Okay, here's just by way of example, and we're going to carry on. And then a few people laughed. That's a lot of 7s, Miss Lagarde, and 7 and multiples thereof, if you ever want to disappear down the rabbit hole and check it out, is arguably the most sacred number to occultists. They even like to claim that Adam Weishaupt chose 1776 as the year in which he founded the Illuminati in the electorate of Bavaria, because the 4 numbers of 1776 add up to 21. First, let's look at a view of other notable references to the number 7 made by Lagarde at their marks in the video. At 4:08, she says, well, I don't care about the time. I'll just say what she said. It will mark the 70th anniversary. 70th anniversary, drop the 0, 7, of the Bretton Woods Conference that actually gave birth to the IMF. Then she says, and it will be the 25th anniversary of the fall of the Berlin Wall. 25th, 2 plus 5 is 7, she said. It will also mark the 7th anniversary of the financial market jitters. After those 7 miserable years, weak and fragile, we have 7 strong years. All right, anyways, there's a few other things, but she has never, no IMF director, anybody has ever come out and spoke the way she spoke that one and only time. Oh, the conspiracy tinfoil hat wearers. Excuse us if it was a little bit insane to see her come out and do that. And while she's walking out, someone says something to her and she says, I just do what I'm told. Yeah. You mean like the speech you're about to give? You're going to do what you're told. Talk about the 7s and all that stuff. You think she came up with that all on her own? You think she's been where she's been in her life? Are those first things, few things I've read to you? Her background by chance? Yeah, okay. Anyways, take it for whatever it is. Baron Trump, time traveler Trump, whatever the hell you want to call it. Very interesting. Take care.